Previously on Started Up. The first 6 students from the top 12 went one-on-one with the judges for an intense series of interviews at the Groot Constantia Wine Estate in Cape Town. And while everyone impressed, 3 students did not make the final cut.
Ravi, your journey on Started Up ends here, I'm afraid.
You are not moving to the next round, I'm afraid.
Paul, sorry, but your journey on Started Up ends here.
Only 3 student entrepreneurs survived from the first set of one-on-one interviews. And they were Nishant from India, Tumishu from South Africa, and Ani from Finland. Now it's the turn of the last 6 students from the top 12 to compete for spots in the final round and remain in the hunt for the title and their share of $100,000 in prize money. And today, it's all happening at the Groot Constantia Wine Estate in the city of Cape Town. Each student will spend 5 minutes with each judge. After the 5 minutes are up, the students will move on to the next judge and repeat the process until they have seen all 6 judges. In this group, student entrepreneurs representing Panama and Brazil, as well as 2 students from both the United States and Australia, would be trying to impress the panel. First up with Judge Miranda was Kai from Melbourne, Australia.
And so they've sent it back, and then it becomes an issue between the customers and us. There's like,
Is there a way that you can abuse the product, and maybe they're worried about that?
And yesterday with his mentor Christina, he had impressed.
Kai has been remarkable to work with. He has been dealing with dyslexia and autism and bullying, and those 3 things have actually made him so resilient and so strong in the belief of what he's doing. But delving down into actually what has happened to him has been like absolutely eye-opening.
working with my mentor, Christina, has been amazing. She's helped me understand what I should be saying in the right way so that the judges can understand what my product is and get the right message across. Christina has also mentioned to me that she's really open to helping me in the future and mentoring me in the future, which is also really awesome and really cool.
His mentor had prepared him well, but was Judge Miranda impressed?
Speaking to Kai was like hanging out with an old friend. We really dove deep into how he started his business, the challenges he's been through, and the problem that he's trying to solve. What I particularly admire about him is how he's turned personal pain into power or a fuel for his business when he could have given up so many times. He's developed a product that is supporting neurodivergent young people, but also adults as well, and now using his product.
I think the one-on-one interviews went pretty well. A little bit nervous, but I think I did the best that I could do. I think it was really interesting. I haven't really done anything like that before, so it was a really cool learning experience and being able to get to the judges to try and know me as a person as well as my product.
Kai looked like he had impressed Judge Miranda. But how was Andrea from Colombia doing with Judge Severo? Yesterday, Andrea had prepared for her interview with her mentor, Juan.
So coaching Andrea has been absolutely inspiring. I mean, here's a young entrepreneur full of passion, wanting to change the world, help a lot of people, make a lot of impact with women. She's actually developed a very interesting prototype of a self-kit for women for some infections that they have and people that don't have access to medicals, to doctors, to hospitals, in Latin America, in Africa, in rural places, and it's just wonderful. She's full of purpose.
I know it might sound cliche, but having Juan as a mentor has been amazing. Like, honestly, well, he's Colombian too, so that's great because it's like another level of connection. But also, I think it's been great. Like, a great part of this journey has been how much he believes in us.
Juan had given Andrea all the guidance he could, but was she impressing Judge Severo?
I'm totally impressed about Andrea. She has a really wonderful entrepreneurship related to medic vaginal infection tests. And it's like she mentioned it like this, it's like an engineering entrepreneurship for the society. She's helping a lot of women who has not the chance to go to the doctor or to a specialist to get a test. And by doing that with her entrepreneurship, she's saving a lot of lives.
I think it went well. I was definitely a little bit nervous because the time is so much more shorter than I expected. And then you have this like added factor where you haven't planned it. Everything is genuine because, I mean, you don't know what questions are they going to ask you, right? So it was like double as hard as the past round, which was not something I expected.
The judges were definitely going to have a hard time choosing a winner, as every student this season was so incredibly strong. So the pressure was on Vienna from Boston in the US to make an impression on Judge Tanya.
What's your vision? What's the end game for you? I mean, where do you see this going? Does it stop here? Are there other things you want to do?
To prepare for today, she had worked with her mentor, Frank.
Working with Vienna for me has actually been a joy. She's a very bright young lady, and so it was really getting to know her personally, in the grand EO fashion, just asking her personal questions and just finding out what type of person she was and where her drive was. And surprisingly, like, at the age where she started doing, coming up with these ideas, it's like, wow, at that age, I would never be thinking like that. I think Vienna's strong points are, her focus and her resilience. She came from a family that her father, he was already solving problems. He was solving problems, traveling. So she traveled all around the world with her father as he's trying to help, other countries develop crops.
Working with my mentor, Frank, has been absolutely tremendous. I've made a lot of great conversation, a lot of good progress, really incorporating the feedback that we had yesterday, really diving into the core GSEA values. So seeing how that can be incorporated into a lot of my responses and really just reflecting on a lot of my own personal experiences and how that really comes to life with here in the community in Cape Town as well as with GSEA.
Wow, my interview with Vienna, one thing comes to mind, imposter syndrome. And the imposter was me. This woman has it all worked out. I mean, if I was half as switched on as at her age, I would have gone quite far by now. But she has not only come up with a solution for drug testing, based off of, inspired by things that had happened in her past. But this solution can also potentially be used for allergen testing. And I mean, there are so many possibilities for what she has created.
I think the one-on-ones went pretty well overall. Had a lot of great conversations, are pretty personable. So I'm really happy to kind of get to know all the judges better instead of, everyone in a panel, kind of how it was for the elevator pitch. So some of those personal conversations were pretty good, I'd say. I would say nothing really stands out to me as the worst part. I would say overall the conversations were pretty positive. I don't think too many questions caught me off guard. So pretty optimistic, but we'll see how it goes. Excited to be here no matter what, and really grateful for being part of Started Up.
When you visit the city of Cape Town, book your trip to Groot Constantia as part of your hop-on, hop-off bus trip. Just choose the wine route on the map. Who do you think is going to the next round? Let us know in the comments section below. Coming up, contestants from Australia, Brazil, and the United States try to impress the judges during their one-on-one interviews.
Today was not my finest performance in terms of sharing my journey.
There was a few questions that I wasn't expecting. 5 minutes was really fast.
But which of them will move on to the final round, and who will be going home? Started Up is brought to you by EO, the Entrepreneurs Organization, a global community for ambitious founders and business owners everywhere. Students of Started Up stay in Cape Town courtesy of the Home Suite Hotel Sea Point, a stylish full-service boutique hotel offering easy access to Cape Town's best attractions, as well as a rooftop pool, dog-friendly spaces, and an elevated sleep experience. It's the one-on-one interviews at the Started Up Bootcamp, and back inside the Groot Constantia Wine Farm tasting room, Madhav from the US was trying to impress Judge Nikhil.
How did you balance your studies and creating this product? How did you balance? How did you find the balance there?
Yesterday, Madhav had worked with his mentor, Bo.
My co-founders are English. They're pure Americans. They only speak English.
Working with Madhav has been an absolute pleasure, just to see how ambitious he is, how inspiring he is. Hearing his story has just been incredible. Such an amazing experience. I think one of the weak points or things that Madhav's needed a bit more guidance on is to perhaps be a little less humble. He's He's really humble when it talks to speaking about himself and celebrating some of the successes of his business. But he and his team have celebrated some massive wins that I really think he needs to focus on in this one-on-one.
Working with my mentor, Bo, has been extremely authentic and humbling. I realized that I had a really strong story to tell, and we've done a lot with our business, but accumulating that in just a 2-minute pitch and now onto the interviews, it comes with a lot of passion about comprising everything that we've done so far into concise, impactful words and making our story translate rather easily. So it's been an extremely fascinating experience that I've learned a lot.
In my discussion with Madhav, I really found a lot about him. What an impressive guy. This is a guy who literally moved to the US 3 years ago. And in the last 13 months, he's set up a business, he's making money, he's got customers. And he was talking about his education, how in school he really learned about all the things he needed to do. He seems to know everything about the business, supply chain, manufacturing, fabrics. Really impressive. I think what I need to know more about with him is how he actually works with his team and how he wants to grow the business and how he actually wants to take control of he's got a patent, but how he wants to take control of the supply chain going forward.
What I learned from this experience in the one-on-one interviews is that I need to be a little better prepared in terms of articulation of my journey, my passion, and what we're building in just 5 minutes. There's good and bad days. Today was not my finest performance in terms of sharing my journey very clearly. Come good days, we are always going to improve and get better from here.
All the students would spend 5 minutes being interviewed by each judge. And right now, Judge Nobi was getting to know Amelie from Australia.
You have to learn how to draw that line between personal and professional relationships.
Amelie had spent the day yesterday with her mentor, Kathy.
Was going to give us the funding, for the research project. So we got through that moment of uncertainty of how we're going to find the funding for it. Then the next problem that we run into at the university is oh, by the way, you actually need an ethics application.
I really enjoy my conversation with Amelie. I can see myself in her story, maybe when I started my business. So our conversation is really smooth, very open, deeply connected. Yeah. Oh, I think Amelie is so passionate about her project, her business. And I think she is the spiritual leader in her team. Yes, because in her world is naive optimism. Her passion, her optimistic really inspire her team members to work together. And her optimism really, drive to overcome all those failures, to embrace all those uncertainty. So I think that's the power of Amelie's optimism.
Working with my mentor, Kathy, has been amazing. She's helped me really just put the story that I already have into very clear and concise words. And I think also having a female mentor as well in my space, we don't get a lot of female mentors who have been kind of exactly been through what we've been through. I really relate with her, so she's been absolutely incredible.
Amelie is a really talented entrepreneur. At the age of 21, she has been doing 3 businesses already and very experienced. And naturally, she knows who she needs and how to get it. It was amazing, just amazing. I can see in 10 years, she's becoming a really great entrepreneur.
Interviews went well. There was a few questions that I wasn't expecting, but I did my best. I'm happy, and we'll see what happens. There were questions that were a lot more personal than I expected. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I just wasn't expecting it, and I was a little bit like, oh my gosh, I need to think about what I'm gonna say, but it's okay.
Not knowing what questions each judge would ask was daunting enough. But Julia from Brazil had put a little extra pressure on herself by speaking English in the interview. when she had only started learning the language a few months ago.
I would narrow this down to 3 points.
Better.
Make this your main message. This doesn't have any meaning.
Yeah.
Right? So the brand, I would clean up the brand name for the consumer product.
Julia had spent time yesterday with her mentor, Pedro.
Spending time with Julia has been great. One of the best mentoring experiences I have had so far, primarily because Julia is very structured. So when she had specific questions, we had answers and she would do the homework. We always try to end up with one homework for her to reflect on what she needed to improve or change. And she always was coming back like very quickly. So she had us, particularly me as her mentor, on running all the time, which was really, really good. And as entrepreneurs, we like problems to be solved as fast as possible. So she identified the problem, we discussed solution, we set up a plan of action, and then immediately she will start executing on it. And that is rare to see, and more so on a person that's less than 30 years old. But she, at her young age, she's a very successful entrepreneur, very, very driven. And to be honest, we learned the lessons. I learned the lessons from her. And that's one of the things that GSEA brings to us, which is learning from the students.
Having Pedro as a mentor has been amazing. He really understands my fears and understands my potential. And he gave me great tips, and it really makes me believe in myself, in my story, my potential. So it's been amazing.
Now, could Julia impress the judges?
I was talking to Julia. What a story. To me, when you can connect the brand to a personal story, the brand has life. And there was a real story there. She was so personally invested in it. The story behind her mother and why she got involved at the age of 18 while she was in high school. I believe in those brands that where the person, the founder, is so invested and is going to continue to make sure that product goes to market. I believed in that. She really got that story across to me.
5 minutes was really fast because I thought, okay, 2 minutes is faster. No, but the 5 minutes passed so fast that I cannot believe it when they say, oh, time's up. But I think it was good because it's more fluid. We can talk, I can run some words, but we understand each other. So I think it was really good.
All our Started Up judges and mentors are successful entrepreneurs with the skills and knowledge to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. So subscribe to our channel now and get exclusive tips on how to grow your business. 6 of the final 12 contestants have impressed the panel with their interview skills, but some impressed more than others.
One thing comes to mind, imposter syndrome, and the imposter was me.
When you can connect the brand to a personal story, the brand has life. And there was a real story there. She was so personally invested in it.
Who stays and who goes? Next. Judges for Started Up stay in Cape Town courtesy of the Home Suite Hotel Station House, a modern apart hotel in the heart of Sea Point, offering a home away from home experience with high-end finishes, co-working spaces, and premium amenities, while offering easy access to Cape Town's best attractions.
Well, great job today, everyone. I'm sure those interviews were incredibly easy for you, but you've made the job quite difficult for us. This is the moment where we let you know that some of you will continue with Started Up, and unfortunately, we will have to say goodbye to some others of you whose Started Up journey will end today.
When we call your names, please step forward. Vienna and Madhav, please take one step forward. someone's journey is about to end, while the other will move on to the next round. Vienna, you are through to the next round. Madhav, I'm afraid your journey on Startup ends here, but your entrepreneurial journey continues.
Super excited. I think really excited to advance to the next round and continue to make more incredible relationships with the people I've met here. Really dive more deeper into their backgrounds, what they're working on. It's really, really incredible. So being able to continue to see what they're working on and learn and grow through our mentorship experiences here at Startup, I'm super, super excited for.
One of you will move on to the next, and unfortunately, one of you will leave today. Amelie, you are not moving to the next round. Hi, congratulations. You are through to the next round.
I feel really great that I've gotten through. Honestly, it was such a tight competition and everyone was just so great. And I think the Amelie, who was another competitor from Australia, her business is just amazing, and I'll definitely be wanting to catch up with her and help her as much as I can with her future endeavors as well.
Andrea and Julia, good luck. Julia, you are through to the next round. Congratulations, which means that Andrea, we're sorry, but your journey on Started Up, it ends here.
I am not believing yet. It's so crazy that I don't have words. This is what I'm feeling. Not processed this yet.
Next time on Started Up, your top 6 student entrepreneurs from Brazil, the United States, Finland, Australia, India, and South Africa take on the final task to try and take the title.
The final task is all about the pitch. 5 minutes to sell themselves as entrepreneurs and their business as sustainable proposition. Just flow.
This is 70% the individual and 30% the idea. Because you have a great idea, but if the person running it can't deliver, then the business won't survive.
The winner of Started Up Season 4.
The competition for the Season 4 Started Up title is headed to the final stretch. Visit the beautiful city of Cape Town, a proud partner of Started Up. Discover more at This Is Cape Town. Click subscribe now, click like now, and join us for the final show to help start up your entrepreneurial journey.